I'm going to wait a few more minutes and then I'm going to start. Welcome everyone. If you are part of the community or if this is your first time here, welcome. Yeah, today is a live stream dedicated to BTS members, and I'm going to be reading also for the group. So yeah, it's all going to be BTS related. And for people that if people want to know, I am a fan of BTS. Like, I remember the first time I saw them was like at the beginning of 2018, and they are the reason of how I got into K-pop, how I got to know K-pop. So I would say they are like my first K-pop group, and the experience has been very nice. But also, since I'm also a tarot reader and I have this channel and I read for groups, I read for Korean artists or Asian artists in general. I am a tarot reader and I have been doing this for a very long time, for like almost 25 years. So the readings that I'm going to do for them is going to be full of respect.
like always, like for all the artists, but also, I'm staying neutral. Whatever I see, I'm going to say it. I'm going to, do it professionally, just in case, people maybe are used to some readers or some people that they say that they read cards and they are very biased in their opinions, or there's something about their personal opinion that I think that this is why I wanted to do this live stream separated for them, because of course me as a fan and as a consumer, and I also had been waiting for them. I could also have my opinions, or like, oh, this is how I felt when I saw them, or this is what happened. I read this online just like any regular person would. But today it's not about my opinion. It's not about how I feel. It's mostly what I see in the cards. So yeah, I'm excited to read for them. Thank you so much to everyone that was so patient and understanding of my way and my rule that I have for not reading for artists while they are serving in the military. Um, it's not, I remember at the beginning people were like, very insistent, like, oh, can you read for BTS? Oh, how are they doing in there? We know that, while everyone, like any man is in there, they may have an amazing experience, or they may have an awful experience, even a traumatic one. So let's not pull cards to get into that, or to add more pressure, conspiracy, negativity, negative thinking, persecution, psychosis. Let's not add this to a tarot reading. This is why I was like, they are not working for you in there. They are serving as men for their country. So the best we can do is stop pulling cards for people that are serving their country. They are in there like civilians, like rest of the civilians. So, why would I pull cards for them? If they're not, it's not part of their idol duty. It's their duty as men in the country. But I think that it took a while for people to understand. I don't know if they understood. I think that probably they went to another channels and they looked elsewhere. But I'm very appreciative of people that actually stayed and people that understood my rules. This is something that, hey Samara, this is something that I didn't see other people do. It was my decision, a risky one, I would say, because usually the channels that grow, with a lot of views and things are people that keep reading for the famous groups, and they keep reading for BTS and Blackpink, and it's all day 24/7. It's like not even a single day passes and people are already recommending, I want another reading. Can you do an standalone reading? Can you do this? And I think that we readers, we also have certain limits, and we are people. And for me, I find it like energetically it's not good to be always reading for the same people. I think like, um I'm not being professional, because this I also do with people in real life. Like if there's someone that, okay, they request a reading from me today, and not a week had passed and they are already requesting another one, it's like you are not understanding the purpose of getting your cards read. You have to let time pass. You have to let, the energy of what is available for you to develop. I would say, if it's going to develop or not, is a whole process. It's a process of patience, um, understanding. It is not for you to get like a consumist, like obsessive, like, oh, I want to read the cards for this and this. Like, the general meaning that I got 3 months ago is not going to change if I pull cards now. It's going to be more of the same. The cards are going to repeat the same messages. So yeah, it's very early in the morning for you, Samara. For me, it's 10. And also, I decided to do this live stream today to, commemorate and celebrate BTS anniversary. I believe is number 12. Is it number 12 since their debut? I believe it's 12. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's 9 a.m. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do this. And first, I'm going to start for the members individually. I'm going to read for them individually in the order of. So I'm going to start with Namjoon, with RM, then with Jin, Suga, Hobi, Taehyung or B, Jimin, and Jungkook. And the spread that I'm going to be doing for them is past, present, future, because I want to see, like not go inside of what happened in the past, but I want to see where they come from, and the energy that they are sort of drawing to this present. So yeah, I'm going to be pulling those cards for each one of them. That is going to be one for past, present, future. And then I'm going to be reading for them for this 2025, for BTS as a group for 2025. And if you have any questions, or if you want to ask about something in specific, we do have, I can stay a bit, to read your questions. But I think that with those readings, I think I will cover pretty much everything. I wouldn't want to go that far away in the future and be like, oh, let's read for 2020, like 2026. I think that we have time for that. 2025 is not over yet. And I would appreciate, guys, if you would support, the live stream. If you enjoy it, to please give it a like, to subscribe if you haven't. I would appreciate your support very much in this. So yeah, thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, I'm going to start with the individual readings for the members. I'm going to start with Namjoon, with RM, past, present, future. Hmm. Okay. For Namjoon, we start with the card of the present. We have the High Priestess. For the past, the card of the past. Sorry, did I say present? Past. I mean past. In the middle, present, the King of Pentacles. And in the future, we have the Two of Swords. And then, as an advice, or as an extra card, we have the Queen of Wands, that it says honorable. Honorable. So very nice for Namjoon. I was smiling to myself a bit when I saw the High Priestess in the present, and not the present, sorry. Probably he's still carrying this in the present. This is why I'm confusing. Like I'm trying to say past and I say present. So he's still bringing this in the present, even though I got another card. But because I have a reading for, the relationship between Big Hit and BTS. It's on my Patreon. If you want to go and check it out, it's a paid tier, but it's a very interesting reading that I did for BTS members and their relationship with Big Hit in the moment. And he got the High Priestess. So I'm like, he's still in that energy. He's still in that energy. For me, the High Priestess is, yeah, is the one that keeps secrets. Is the one that knows, is the one that knows, that has the knowledge, is the one that has the knowledge very lacked, I would say, inside himself. He knows things. He's a really good absorber of information. I would say he had always been a great listener, I would say. Not so much like he shares about himself, is more when it comes to, especially an environment where he doesn't trust people, he doesn't fully trust people. So there's something about him staying in this high priestess that is like, I don't judge, I just listen, and I collect what I'm picking in the moment. Also very intuitive, very smart. But also I think that it's a way of survival, I would say. It's a mechanism of defense of him, I would say, because I think that he doesn't really trust, or there's something in his, maybe in his intuition or in his unconscious, that he's like, when it comes to certain places where there's power, or there's like a power structure, or it's like an institution, even when there's older people, more influential people, he had learned that the best strategy is to just listen and stay neutral, and just like a smile and nod, and be like, I understand. And probably in the military he had also been like this, not showing his true self, definitely not showing his true self, collecting a lot of information. I think that whatever information or knowledge he knows, he's going to use it in the right time. And when I got, when I got this card for him and his relationship with Big Kid, I also got this. I'm like, he has, yes, he knows things. He knows, probably out of all the members, I would say he's the only one that knows. He knows things that others don't. But it's not just because he's a leader, it's because of his personality. Um, he is very intelligent. He's very intelligent in that sense. He's very observant, and I think that is intelligence, but at the same time, it's a strategy. It's a strategy. It's not like, oh no, I just listen to learn from the best. No, he's keeping information. He's keeping information, and at some point, he's going to release the information. At some point, you are going to hear about it. It's just that maybe, for him, the military service was also a place where he felt like, I have to go inwards. I have to, become more selective. I have to become more like, not show my emotions, not show my vulnerability. I have to become like, like a sort of like a Buddhist, someone that is so inside themselves, or even giving the impression that he is mysterious, when actually he's not mysterious. He's not a mysterious person. It's just that is part of a strategy. It's like, instead, because I believe that there's something about Namjoon, that he knows that his words, or what he says, or what he shares, or what he says he knows, people, he's very influential in that sense. His words have, a weight. What he says is important. And maybe as he grew older, he started to maybe pay attention to even people that he admired in the past and were like, you're talking nonsense. Because what you're saying and what you're doing are two different things. So instead of, going against people in power or going against these, maybe older people or more experienced people that they think that they know it all, he's like, I'm listening. I'm listening. Interesting what you're saying to me. Interesting. But I will not give you my point of view. I will not tell you what I really feel, what I really think of what you're doing. I'm keeping it to myself. And one day I'm going to use it for my benefit. So, Namjoon is very intelligent. It's very intelligent. I'm like, what secrets are you hiding? He's going to show them at some point, but wait. But yeah, a moment of also of observing, probably yeah, feeling very sensitive, but not showing it. It's like I'm not going to show you my vulnerability. Like I may be not so comfortable here, but I will not show it. I will remain silent. I will remain silent. I will say the words when I have to say them or who I have to talk to. But at this point, I will not reveal it. I will shield myself. Um, in the present, we have the card of the King of Pentacles. So beautiful, beautiful King of Pentacles, very earth, very practical, very materialistic, even I would say. And him going back to his throne, there's something about him. I know he had been working while he was serving. Probably he's going to keep working. Maybe there's a solo coming or there's more work coming for Namjoon. I can definitely see him like mastering. I don't think that is, I don't see him working because I don't think that he has to practice or, I see him more like he already has it and he's probably thinking like, okay, maybe it's others that have to work or prepare something for him and he will join later. There's something about him being like him being the one that will pick the projects or he will pick what appearances he's going to do, but he's the one in charge. He's the one in power. So probably it's like, yeah, the projects that he will choose, it will be maybe to appear, to have a bit of like presence, to appear, to do his job and then go home and enjoy his life. The King of Pentacles is someone that probably he's going to live like a slower life, but a very abundant one. Probably, yeah, advising people about money. Why do I feel like he's going to talk about money, investments, or maybe future plans for the company? I don't know, but I see him more in the business mentality or in the more structured kind of mindset, like practical, like okay, let's change this, let's do this, let's arrange this, instead of him getting emotional or getting all like artistic, I would say. But if he does have some work, it's something that he already mastered. He already has it. If you see the King of Pentacles, he's like looking at his coin. He's like, okay, let's see. What do I have saved? I have this. Okay, yeah, I will give you this. Or these people are waiting for me because they want me to collaborate with them. Okay, I will show up for a bit. But always, the others are the one that are waiting for him to appear. He doesn't have to do anything, actually. He is a king already. He is abundant. His presence is magnificent. He's going to be very successful also. There's a lot of money coming for Namjoon. So I love it. I love it. I love it. He in the present, he's going to recover also his glamour, him feeling, him maybe enjoying I would say like luxurious. I don't want to say luxurious because I think that Namjoon is not the kind that he's like, oh, please, give me the finest of the finest. But maybe, yeah, to go back to a very comfortable life, that he has, even if it's at his house. But live in, being in an environment where he can be comfortable, where he can be the owner of his own space and his own security, being very secure also very secure. So I love it. I love this present for Namjoon. In the future, we have the Two of Swords. So in here, I think that he has two possibilities. Maybe I believe it's work. Definitely it's work. Maybe he has the possibility to go on tour with someone, or for him to, I don't know, to travel with his solo work, or to associate with someone, to appear in someone's project. Maybe there's another member that is like, let's do this together. I don't think that is with BTS as the group entirely. I think that is more like maybe a member or two are like inviting him, let's do this. I want to do this with you. We had been waiting after we came back to do this. Please, can you come with me? And him being a bit like, not sure, very indecisive. There's something about Namjoon being a bit indecisive about, his near future, or this probably this next month of 2025 is going to be a moment where it's also okay for him to accept or understand that he doesn't know what to choose, and that probably there's going to be like ambiguity. It's going to be like, you know I don't know, I have this option and this other option, and both of them are great, but I'm not sure. There's something about my intuition and my thoughts and my analysis about this that I'm like, yeah, it's not that it's bad, but I don't feel like it, or I don't know what good it would add to me. So there's something about him just not knowing what to choose, being a bit confused, being in the middle, feeling neutral about things. And this is not just work, I believe. I think that it's also relationships. It's also knowing who to trust, or maybe not knowing who to believe. And I think that is very interesting. We started with the high priestess, and we have the two of swords. That is like a very limited. The two of swords is like this very limited high priestess. Both of them represent number two. So it's the ambiguity, it's being in the middle, it's not being able to see. And here he can feel like indecisive. I have many options, maybe I have more than two, and I don't know what to choose. And the reality is that maybe he doesn't have to choose. That maybe it's okay to say, I'm a bit lost about what I want to do, so I will not take action until I'm 100% sure. So yeah, people also like don't pressure him. Don't pressure him into like, oh, when are you going to release this? When are you going to do this? Because I know they, of course, they will say, oh yes, we want to come back. Oh yes, he's very hardworking, he's very loyal to his people. He knows people are waiting. So, he has like an image to sustain, I would say, and also he has he probably gave his word to people, to the fans, like, I'm going to be there, I'm going to keep producing, I'm going to be keep working. But in the future, there's indecision, there's ambiguity for the next month, so that's also okay. He has to identify the uncomfortable feeling of being in the middle. Sometimes it happens to us, and maybe he has to reflect on that. We have the Queen of Wands as the last card that sums up his reading, and the Queen of Cups is says honorable. So I think that this also, sort of, sums up the whole reading with saying that this Queen of Wands represents, Namjoon's energy. He's a very honorable person. He has honor. He has honor. This is why, maybe in the near future we have these two of swords. In the past we had this high priestess. It's like, okay, I know things, but if I would talk, if I would spell it, if I would spill it, if I would spill the tea, I would probably cause some damage. So I prefer to remain silent, or I prefer to stay in the middle, or it's like the moment is not now. So he is a very bold passionate individual. With the Queen of Wands is someone that he can be a bit impulsive. Maybe you can see him, saying something or acting in a way that you're like, is he okay? Is he trying to say something to us? But he's also a gentleman. He's an honorable person. He is going to be like, okay, like my values first. If he says something, it's because it's important and he thinks that it's time. But if he remains in silence, also respect that. And don't speculate on his silence. Don't speculate on like, oh no, but he never mentioned this. So it must be that he didn't say this because he's supporting this person or he's supporting the other. When wait for him, he will tell you the truth because he's a very honorable person, and also the Queen of Wands is very outspoken, is very authentic, and is very like spontaneous. So but also he remembers, he's like, I have honor. So the things that he doesn't say or the things that he says, just take what he says. Don't try to twist it for for a narrative. Namjoon doesn't need translators. He will tell you like it is when the time is right. But yeah, very nice for him. I like it. I like it for him. Welcome back, Namjoon. Hey, Fluffy. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for stopping by. Thank you. Also, it's starting to rain here. I'm testing my new ceiling if it's going to leak or not. Let's pray for the magic of BTS that everything is going to be okay. That my ceiling is not going to follow me. Okay, I'm going to continue with Jin. Let's see Jin. Past, present, future. Let's go, Jin. Okay. For the past of Jin, we have the Chariot. The present, we have the Knight of Wands. Very active, very active. And in the near future, we have the Ten of Swords. Page of Cups as the card that sort of, is like a sums up the reading, is like an advice. And we have the Page of Cups meditation. I think that I'm laughing again because I think that the Ten of Swords is a card that I got for him also in this reading for BTS and Big Kid. I believe if it's not this one, I believe it's another one that I did, or maybe a Jin reading that I did in the past. But poor guy is exhausted. He's like going to give it all until this present, but then he needs a rest, guys. He needs to rest because he's giving it his all. From the past for Jin, the Chariot is him advancing with his own emotionality, with his own true self, not stopping, not looking at the sides or the back or the past. He has been advancing, improving, growing, breaking certain boundaries or certain, maybe in the past, he was like, you know, do I do this on my own? Like, is this okay? Like, am I going to be okay? And I think that I think that in the past, Jin had learned to trust the process. I would say, that while you are on the path, while you are active, while while meanwhile you when you're just going through experiences and you launch yourself with your heart open, with your authenticity, with your simplicity, with your feelings, with your flaws, with everything, you're always you're always on the right path. There's something about Jean in the past. I think that initially he felt like, oh, am I going to be able to do all this, like, by myself, like me only? And he discovered that, once he left a past behind. I don't know if it's an old preconception that he had of himself, or there's something that he was like, oh, in the past I wouldn't have been able to do this, but since I just kept going and going and going, and I realized that, the power in me is to keep advancing, is to keep doing, is to keep performing, to keep showing up, to keep um, going places, to not let others or different circumstances stop me. I think that Jean, this were very important. The past months that he had to, basically do everything on his own, and show up for himself, like just be himself. I think that is the moment where he connected more with his self-esteem, with his authenticity, and just not stopping. I don't know. I don't think that Jean is. I don't think that there had been an instance where Jean had stopped. I think that Jean, even he, I don't remember Jean having a hiatus or something like that. So I wonder why, there's like and also I see the Knight of Wands here in the present, and I'm like, he's very insistent on the energy of like, let's keep advancing, let's keep going, let's keep going. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. I'm already here. I'm going to keep working. So I wonder if he feels the need to accelerate himself, because otherwise he would start sabotaging himself. So there's something about his energy being like, I'm not seeing, I'm not looking to the sides, I'm not looking at what others are doing. I just keep on my own path. I keep on my own, I keep on my road, and I keep advancing, and I don't look back. I don't look back. So it's very interesting because he's very courageous. He's a very courageous person. Probably there's something about him being like, the old Gene would have stopped when these things happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know. But the cards are telling me like he had certain moments where he maybe thought like, oh, I don't want to do this. Or I don't know how I'm going to do this. A bit of insecurity. But he was so, he put the body and he put his emotions. He was like, I'm just showing up like I am, what I am. I'm giving people what I am, a piece of my story, a piece of my energy, who I am. I hope you people like it because this is what you're getting. There's something about his authenticity that I find it very cute because he's like, the chariot is Cancer energy. It's I think that Jean has Mars in Cancer. So there's something about him, sometimes when he has new beginnings or he has to embark himself on a new journey, it's not that he doesn't fear, but there's a bit of emotions. When you get a bit like emotional about it and you're like, am I going to do this okay? Am I going to be okay? Like, am I going to be supported? Like, him starting to get a bit emotional, maybe also a bit lonely, a bit lonely. But he had been so brave. He had been so brave. He had been so brave and the thing that I see here is that he stood up for himself. He stood up for himself. it has been a long journey for him. It has been a long journey. And he had mastered this himself. I know that he has people working for him. I know that there's other members. I know. But what he went through alone initially, he was on his own. This is something that I want to say every time I read. I read for Jin, and when I read for Jin, um, Jin, I think that he's not that supported like other members. Like I'm going to leave it like that. At that. There are certain moments that they have more support. They have more like, oh, he's going to do a solo. Oh, here. For Jin, it's not like that. There's always something lacking. There's difference. There's different treatment. So not good nor bad, but there's difference. And maybe him, like the oldest people, expect of Jin to manage. It's like, well, we gave you this, go. And he's like, okay, I guess I will go. And he he takes his whole career and the other guy's career on his back. And he's like, I will go. I will go. I will show up. I will show up. So this is why energetically, from what I see here, it's so necessary that people show Jin love. I know people love Jin. I know this. We all love him. But is the cards are like, no one was there holding his hand and guiding him through the process. This is why in the cards, if you see, there's only one person, and the chariot and the horse, the transportation, I would say. But the one that made the move, the one that showed up, the one that showed their faces is him. So, here there's no money, there's no bling bling, there's no, accessories, there's not like, oh, it's like, okay, we give you this, go, have fun. And he's like, okay, I guess. And I think that this also has to do with him probably having a great personality, because it was tough. It was tough. In the present, Knight of Wands, he still has, I think that he's still feeling like passionate. Probably he will create more content, or he will do more. There's something about him, he's like, guys, if you want to rest a few more weeks, like I will be here doing, if I have to do, a live stream, or if I have to do a show, or if I have to show up in different places, I will go. Like, I use my energy, use me. He's like so motivated, and probably he's so happy. He's so happy that they're back, but at the same time, he's like, I still have energy. I still have energy. So I will go. If you want me to join in some live stream, if you want me to do some crazy activity, I will go and put the body. I will go and put the body, the energy, the presence, the warrior mode. It's like, I will go. But also, the Knight of Wands is someone that is like, yeah, today I'm here. Today, my present is that you see me coming. Like, yeah, I'm here. I'm entertaining everyone. Ha ha ha. But the Knight of Wands doesn't stay for long. So probably he needs a rest. He's like, I gave it my all, like, my energy, my jokes, my presence. I did attend to different places. But in the future, we have the Ten of Swords. So there's something about Jin's energy in the near future. He needs to detox. He needs to he probably needs a bit of silence, and he probably is once he stops, and maybe the others are going to take over, or the others are going to maybe do their own activity, or have more presence in the media. He's like, okay, I can finally sit down and being honest with myself, I'm tired. I'm tired. It has been tough. It's just like until now, he's keeping the energy up. His energy is like, up. But in the future, there's a feeling of like, um, I'm exhausted. People exhaust me. Um, I did my best. I did my best to overcome. And I think that when I say people, it's not fans, it's not the audience, but people. Jin is no fool. Jin hears people talking, and some people have been very like dismissive of him, or maybe a bit judgmental of him and what he did, or what he prepared, or what he did not. And he carried these words with him. It's like finally he's a very brave guy. Not enough of criticism or just you being petty and saying something awful to him. Nothing is going to stop him. He's going to keep delivering anyways. But he's human. So there's something about him probably being tired of maybe some people having, condescending or passive aggressive comments about his work. Um, or like comparing him to others, and him being like, okay, okay, he endured it like a brave guy, because you have to be very brave to overcome, the anxiety, not knowing things, sometimes, people not giving you the enough information, and you having to be like, okay, okay, I guess I will be okay because I'm here. There's something about Jin having this larger than life, sort of energy and presence, that he's like, even if I don't have the information, or what I need at the moment, or there's something lacking, I'm going to play cool because I believe in me. I believe that I'm enough. So he is amazing. Like, I would want someone like Jin to coach me about confidence, but the Ten of Swords in the future is that, he probably needs a few months to detox. The whatever is going on in the buildings, or people that worked with him or for him, the energy felt very dense around him, very negative, very pessimistic, very and maybe him also, when he met other people, seeing people being nervous, seeing people being doubtful, seeing people being, on a very, heavy, dark energy, and him absorbing a bit, but at the same time with these two cars, him trying to keep going nevertheless, even though, he probably was surrounded by a lot of negativity, a lot of negativity. So he's like, I need a break. I need I need to not be here, please. Like, please, like, it's not. Thank God, the cars are like, it didn't affect him. He's like, this is why I think that there's something about him, like being like, give me something to do because I want to get out of here. Give me something. You tell me that I have to go somewhere, because staying here and absorbing this energy, I'm like, things are not okay. I'm not okay. And I have to take care of me, because I am a tool. I am my own tool. So, he was a warrior. He's still a warrior. Yeah, and we have the Page of Cups meditation. So see, he needs to meditate. He needs to relax. He needs to go home, have a cup of tea, a chamomile tea probably, and just, remove himself from all the drama. He had enough. He's seen enough. He heard enough, I think. He was like, oh my God, people are so negative today. Oh, and I have to work with these people. Oh. So yeah, probably also, Jean needing a break. But yeah, to meditate. There's nothing going on with Jean. He's okay. It's just that he needs some self-care. He needs some self-care to meditate, focus on himself, and not Enough of dealing with people. Enough. Okay, I know Yoongi is not out yet of the military, but I'm going to pull cards for him because, it's going to be in a few days. So, yeah, I don't want to leave him out. So, yeah, let's see Yoongi. Past, present, future. Let's see what I got, because every time I read for Yoongi, his energy escapes from me. So let's see what he has to show. Mm, mm, mm. It's very much what I saw in the reading with the big hit. Okay, Yoongi. For the past, we have the Queen of Swords. For the present, Seven of Swords. The Hangman for the future. And we have the Fool. That this is like the advice, the overall energy, fresh hope. Okay, a lot of swords. Also, when I read for him and his relationship with the hit, he also got swords. So things are not okay. He is, in discussions with people. He is fighting people, I would say. And he has very strong opinions about certain management. So, I would say he's in control. This is what, because I'm focusing on Yoongi and I don't care about the company. Like, I really don't care. Um, or, what the netizens say or these people say online. But yeah, from the past, we have, the Queen of Swords. So definitely, I think that Yoongi has clarity of beliefs, of thoughts. He's not confused. I mean, I think that if he was in the military, there's something about him being in control or him having, a very intellectual role where his task was very clear, what he had to do. Probably he also had time to write, he had time to create, he had time to write a diary, write a book even. It feels very intellectual. It feels very intellectual. But I think that there's something about, Jungi as this Queen of Swords, that Jungi doesn't forgive nor forgets, and I think that he's going to deal with certain people when the time comes. Um, but when it comes to his past, I think that he was very intelligent, he was very wise, he was very also strategic while being in there. But also probably because it's about communication or it's about information, it's about him having, things under control or him, organizing, could it be papers, organizing papers or distributing information. I think that his role was very much like easy for him. There's something about him, like the Queen of Swords, mastering his mind, mastering his task, not doubting a second about what he had to do or what he was doing. Also, like I said, his mind was working a lot. So he probably was working on individual things of himself as an artist and also doing his duty. But there's something about him being in charge, actually, not being bossed around. I don't see Jung being bossed around by others or just, having to follow other people's rules. I think that at the end, maybe, I don't know if at some point someone is going to come out and share their experience working with Jung in the military, but I think that he was a sort of leader in there. because with as the Queen of Swords, I see him very assertive, just very experienced, very good actually at this job. I'm like, this could be a second job for Yoongi. I think that he actually started to love it. Love probably he loved more the routine. Knowing that he had to focus on a certain task and he would be really good at it. But yeah, no hurt, no emotions, no like, oh, I'm going to miss you and we are best friends. Like, no, no, this is him, completing his duty and being responsible, but also, demanding respect. There's something that's the Queen of Swords that, like I said, Yoongi doesn't forgive, he doesn't forget. Keep that in mind because he's going to come to cut some heads. So don't be shocked when it happens. I told you. In the present, Seven of Swords. When I started the reading that I said, I hope that this reading, I hope that Jungi's energy doesn't escape from me because, usually when I read for Jungi, he escapes from me. So the Seven of Swords is giving me escapism. Like, yes, no, maybe. But I think that this is something about, could it be that he will not be having like a reunion with the press and, and others and the fans, just like the other members had? I think that it could be, people, with the cameras going to where he is trying to get, an image of him leaving a building where he was staying or where he was working and serving. But I see him escaping this. I know it's not confirmed if he's going to, have these, like the others had, that where there's like the press gathered and there's fans as well. I don't see it. I actually see him like going through a secret door or something like this, and maybe a camera or someone that knows that he's going to go on that way. But I see him like escaping a bit. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But I don't know. I don't see him facing the audience or the press even. I think that there's something about him just maybe he's still angry at the press or he's there's uh, there's a bit of anger, there's a bit of anger, but there's also a way of you know of Yoongi being who he is. He's not going to give these people what they want of him. He's like, you will not get me. You will not get this from me. I will not give you the many views and and the money and the recognition for getting a picture of me. He's like, no, bye. And probably this is going to be a last minute thing. But he's thinking about escaping. He's not escaping the fans. It's not about the fans. Please, guys, if you see that Yoongi is not to be found, trust that this is his idea or this is something that he has been planning or he has decided, and he's a very intelligent person. So please don't see it like from a place of like, oh my god, like they are keeping him away from us and he's like, oh my god, like, no. In here I don't see feelings. So just like I said when I read for, I remember I read for, a certain company with a certain leader, and because, the fans get very emotional about things that are not emotional. These things need to be treated and deal with intelligence. And this is what Jungi has: intelligence, a strategy. So you have to trust his intelligence. Just like what I said about Namjoon. What he says and what he doesn't say, You take it from what the leader tells you. And from Yoongi, it's the same. If he appears or if he doesn't appear, you take from him what is available. Don't create a soap opera of, oh no, I guess something happened. No, no, this is part of a plan. He wants justice. So, and in the future, we have the Hangman. So probably a pause. Let let Yoongi also, rest. If you don't see him, don't panic. He's going to, you know, he's a very intelligent person. He has been doing the work. He's not a lazy person, never has been a lazy person. His mind works 24 hours. So all the time he's working. But, he's like, maybe for the next month, I'm going to take a pause and I'm not going to say anything. Even if people want to hear certain things, I will just like sacrifice. I will surrender to this awkward experience of maybe people not seeing me that much. But I need to stop a bit because he's planning something. So this is why he needs to disappear a bit. We have, as the last card, we have the Fool, that it says fresh hope. So see, there's a new beginning for Yoongi. There's a new hope, but he needs, give him a space, give him room to elaborate this. He doesn't want to keep feeding people with his image or with his information. He's like, you shall not get information from me or about me. I manage my own information or my own value. I will speak about myself. Only I know the truth. So this is something that is very interesting because this is how I feel every time I read for Yoongi. I believe he's the only idol that I have this strong. I don't know if he has like a spiritual protection done on him. Maybe, he has a protection, and I think, or it's his own energy, but I have a huge respect of him because he's like the one that he cuts my reading. He's like, till here, you shall not be, reading for me anymore. That's it. So, but in here, he's like, wait, because it is, the fact that you don't hear from me doesn't mean that I'm silent. It doesn't mean that I'm passive. On the contrary. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what he has in store. I cannot wait. Okay, I'm going to continue with Hobi, with J-Hope. Hobi, past, present, future. Hobi, I would say from Hobi, he's not going to take a time off. There's a lot of pentacles in here. He wants money. He wants to produce. He wants to, probably get his coin. He wants to get his money. He's like, this is not a moment, like, at least for him, in his own personal experience, he's like, I'm not stopping. I have a lot of things to manifest yet. So you probably are going to get a lot of activities from Hobi. Okay, from him, from the past, we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles, I do get a lot from Hobi. Six of Pentacles in the present, and Queen of Swords in the future. And, the card, as an overall, the advice, we have the Ace of Pentacles that it says manifestation. So yeah, Hobby is not going to stop working. He's like, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. Yeah, I want just to keep. Maybe, for him, I think that for Hobby to work is a way of self-care. I think that he is a very productive person, and this is the way he also transmutes his own energy, or the way he, when things are not that okay, but you're like, I'm going to focus on what I can build or what I can create for myself, my reality, instead of, going to cry or going to overthink, or, going into, panic mode. No, he's like, I'm going to just keep working. I'm going to keep creating things. He One thing, one thing that I would say, Hobby loves money. He loves a good life. He loves stability. He loves results. He loves numbers. So he's very ambitious, and he's like, I don't care about others, but for me, give me something to do. I'm feeling so productive. I'm feeling so like he's moving his body, he's using his body. He's a very monitorous person, very, very, very much. But yeah, from the past, Four of Pentacles. I think that in the past, um, this is also very monitorous, and this is not the first time that I have the Four of Pentacles for Hobby. Hobby is very stubborn. Hobby is very stubborn, and there's something about him. There's something about him. Whatever he has at the moment is because he held on very tight to his things, to his belongings, to his opportunities, to his ideas, to his own decisions. He's a very unmovable, untouchable kind of person. Once he gets in his mind that, oh, I'm planning to do this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this my way, or I'm going to create this my way, nobody can move him from this. He is a very fixated person. It's like, you shall not mess with Hobby's things, with his work, with his value, with what he wants to do. I think that but also the Four of Pentacles, if you see the Four of Pentacles, this person is holding on very tight to the Four Coins, is holding on very tight. So he's so possessive. He's so possessive. But there's something also about him, just like, what I mentioned about Jean. There's something about this Four of Pentacles also. This is like a self mechanism. It's like a self defense mechanism. He is protecting what is his. He's protecting his territory, I would say. There's certain things that he will agree on, and he will be like, okay, okay, if you want me to do this, I will do them. Okay, you want to change this? Okay. But then there's certain decisions, or there's certain moves, or, certain things that, maybe people want to do with his image. And he's like, I don't think so. I'm not going to do it. I have my system. I have my people, or I usually work with these people and I get along, or I have this system, or I have, this rhythm, and I don't know, I have, my people that works with me in the music, and it's like, you are not going to touch my things the way I do things. the way I create, the way I deliver, my music, my presence, my performance. He's so possessive about this. And I think that in the past, he had to hold on very tight to his creative process. He had to, really like, when you're like, and also being on the defensive, definitely, definitely, because I think that maybe others were trying to be like, how about if you change a bit of this, and you do this differently? He's like, no, no, I do things like this, and it works. I will show you that it works. So I think that this is um also Hobby being a strategist, but also being very protective of his brand or of his image or of his decision making. It is like for Hobby, you are not going to boss him around. You are not going to change things at last minute and be like, oh yeah, we have a new idea that, go and work with this that we gave you. He's like, no, I already have a list of things that I'm going to do. And this is how I'm going to be working. And this is what I'm going to, be delivering. Um, so there's something about this Four of Pentacles being like, this is how I survived these months, these past last months, being stubborn, being very like the boundaries, being very obvious, very straightforward. Yes, no, yes, no. Protecting what is his, protecting his productivity, protecting his image. There's something about, I don't know if people had like new ideas and they were like, how about you do this, that is trending and that everyone is doing it. He's like, I don't care. I do what I want to do, not what others are following. So he's very, he's a tough force. I wouldn't get on Hobby's bad side because you will not convince Hobby to do something he doesn't want to do. He's like, no, no. Do you want me to do it? I will do it my way. If you don't like it, okay, go and find someone else. So protecting his realm, his energy, his body, his coins also. In the present, we have the Six of Pentacles. In the present, I think that yeah, we have an evolution here with the Six of Pentacles. Definitely, Hobby's relaxing a bit more. From the four, being like this, he's relaxing a bit more. He's like, now I'm going to keep working, yes, but I'm going to take it slow. I'm not going to go all out, or probably, yeah, I'm going to have, I'm going to be working here and there, and I'm going to be appearing in this and then in this, but I'm going to give it, in a very modest kind of way, very selective. Like, yeah, I will do this gig, but yeah, it's just a few moments and then I will go. And yeah, I will show up in here, but also, I will not give it my 100% like I had been putting my 100%. Like, no, now I'm chilling. Now I'm responsible. I'm going to give it my best. Of course, if you guys paid to see me, of course, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be responsible. I'm going to give you a great time. But he's probably going to be much more like organized, and not feeling so pressured, to be like, oh, I have to give it 100%, and this is the last time that I have the possibility. For now, it's like, no, now I have more space. Now, probably he has more time. I don't know if it's to rehearsal or if it's to take a break or if it's to, have the help of others. he's feeling like much more like relaxed, not so much like the Four of Pentacles that is like, okay, it's now or never. He wants to be fixated, but now it's like, okay, I will do my best here and there, and I will give different, maybe he has different, responsibilities. It's like, okay, to each responsibility or each activity that I have to give, my attention, I will do it gradually, and okay, this is important, I will give more to this. And if this is not that important, yeah, I will give it, I will show up for a bit and then I will go home. Something like this. But he's not that oppressed, I would say. He was very nervous in the past, very like, you know, on, on vigilance, I would say, like, um, does anyone want to steal things from from Hobby? Because I see the Four of Pentacles in the middle, and I'm like, does people want to steal things from Hobby, or do they want to steal ideas of his and give it to someone else? Because with the Four of Pentacles, he was like fighting for his life. He was like, no, poor guy, but he's so intelligent. Yeah, in the future, Queen of Swords. Yeah, in the future, I think that I said this in the past, that about him being a sort of mentor, or him, having a show, and him like maybe not doing the work, or not, literally like going to perform, but there's something about him having a lot to say, or he, having his own opinions, or him evaluating people, or him, could it be that Hobby is going to have his own show, like a talk show where he's going to interview others, but or he's going to review other people's performances, or he's going to be like a judge, like a mentor, because I think I see him more relaxed, like, okay, now in this role I'm seated, I'm important, I matter because I'm a Queen of Swords, but it's very relaxed. It's not like I'm putting the body, I'm working. It's more like my opinion is what matters, or my point of view, or what I think of a situation, or I'm talking to other people, more about communication. So yeah, could a hobby comeback, not a hobby podcast could be coming up, a hobby talk show. But yeah, he's always thinking about the future, about new things to do. He's very inspired. He's going to keep working. He's going to keep working. And yeah, Ace of Pentacles, manifestation. So anything, everything that he has been creating, or that he has been working on, is part of his manifestation. He's a very realistic guy. He's very grounded. He's very creative, but at the same time, he doesn't fly. He doesn't evade with his ideas. He's very strategic. He's very stable. um and with the Ace of Pentacles, there's something about him, I have a lot more ideas that I want to become a reality, that I want to manifest into my reality. So he's thinking about new, more ways probably of making money, but but it's going to be successful. It's going to be really good. Love it for Hobby. I love it. Guys, please, if you don't hear me anymore because this mic is so unstable, please, if you can put the red flag emojis, so just in case I don't see it. Okay, I'm going to continue with Taehyung, with BTS B. Taehyung. Okay, Taehyung. I think that there's a lot of I still have to read for BTS in 2025, but There's certain members that I don't see them active. Like, I see that the only one so far that I seen was Hobi. Because I think that definitely first they need a vacation. Second, they probably need a bit of silence. So yeah, I don't know. I think that this is already answering that maybe BTS in the 2025 you could see, some people, some members being active or participating in shows or interviews, but as a group, I don't see it like this year. Um, okay, past of Taeyeon, 9 of Wands. Present, Six of Swords, traveling for B. In the future, the Hermit. And we have yes, as the card that sums up in the whole reading, and also as an advice, we have the Knight of Wands. journey Journey. So if he's starting a journey, he wants to get out, he wants to travel, he wants to be elsewhere. Honestly, like his energy is like, I want to travel, I want to get out of here, and I just want to relax and not think. I don't want to think, like I don't want to work. There's something about like, oh, I'm not going to get all like, you know, um, professional, and like I just want to travel, see the people that I love and just chill. And and he definitely, I don't know about the others. I don't know about the others because I'm not done yet. I still have Jimin and Jungkook, but probably out of all the BTS members, he was the one that his body was put to a test with the 9 of Wands. This man literally was exhausted, but he kept going anyways because he was so prideful, or he was so determined to make it until the end. But he was so tired, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I don't think that he had problems with people. Probably like I mentioned the other day, he probably had a good team, a good work team. He met really good people, but that place that he went to was very challenging physically. I must say also a bit dangerous, because with the 9 of Wands, it's like you have to watch your back. And probably if you get hurt, if you have an accident, you have to, just like this person, you wrap a band around your head, or you put a band-aid, or you put, certain, you try to, you just, you get up and you keep going anyways, even if you're hurt, or even if you have like, if you've fallen, or if you have like an injury, you get up and you keep advancing. I see his body also being a bit, he had certain challenges. He probably got hurt while being in there, or he had a very demanding, exhausting experience. But he stood up. He like the hero that he is. He was like, this is not going to beat me. I'm going to defeat this. But it was so challenging, guys. It was so challenging. And it was like every day like this. Every day. This is not, for the easy. This is not for the weak person. But even if you are weak, I mean, there's something about this kind of experience that he went through that it sort of helps you build character. You probably see other people that are weaker, or that are more scared than you, or that they are not used to this kind of labor or this kind of activity, and they, at the end, they overcome it anyways, or they become stronger, or they learned how to deal with this. The body is wise. So in the case of Taeyeon, I think that he had it tough. It was very demanding physically. It was very demanding. It was a challenge. It wasn't easy. It's just that probably, yeah, he smiled, he showed you, but it was tough. It was tough. Um, but yeah, in the present, we have the Six of Swords. So there's something about him. Like I said the other day when someone asked me a friendship reading between him and Song Kang, I think that he really values Song Kang. The Three of Pentacles is giving me teamwork, like, oh, we are part of the same team. I appreciate you. I love to, work with you or cooperate with you. But he also got the Four of Swords. He was like, now that I'm out, I'm disconnecting from anything military related. And with the Six of Swords, it's like he wants to travel, he wants to make a transition, he wants change in his life, he wants to go out. He wants to, a change in his panorama. It's like, these last months, year, it had been all about, defeating obstacles after obstacles and probably being in danger a lot of times. But now I just want to, travel. I want to go, and rest. I want to go and see beautiful landscapes, beautiful places, very calm, very exciting. He doesn't want to stay like inside. I don't think that he's like, oh, I want to stay. I want to go home. No, he's like, I want to travel. So probably he's thinking about that. Probably he's going to travel a lot, or he's going to go to places where there's a lot of water also. He needs a change of, it was a very hostile environment. Like I said, it wasn't hostile because of people. I think that he didn't have an issue with people or with coworkers or with colleagues in there. It was more like the environment was very rough. In the future, we have the Hermit. So probably you will not. I mean, you could see Taehyung with his friends and everything, but I think that also he probably, as the months passes, he's going to become a bit of a hermit. Maybe you're going to get something about him, but he probably is going to remain like MIA for a bit, because he needs to, maybe he wants to stay away from social media for these new months, these new months. I don't know what is going on, but I think that is a wise decision. I don't know if, could it be the hacker again? Could it be a hacker or someone that is somehow, reviewing his pictures or what he posts or what he says? So I think that with the hermit, he's like, I'm alone. Yeah, I travel, I can be seen with friends, but I'm alone. I don't know if this is like, if people are speculating if he's dating, he's not dating. He just wants time for himself. He wants to reflect on himself. He wants peace. He wants quietness. He wants, he doesn't want drama from anyone. So I think that he's going to isolate himself a bit, but to reflect and to also seek, knowledge and to maybe, have experiences that allow him to be more free, more authentic, and enjoy his life. Because he needs a reset. He also needs a detox from, whatever he went through. But yeah, the Knight of Wands is journey. He's also a person that, even though, he can be, doing things on his own, or maybe, going places, or just like, traveling or vacationing with friends. There's something about he's starting a personal journey as well. So, he could be thinking also about having a solo comeback, or having, an activity with certain people, but it's his image, it's his image. I think that the Knight of Wands is also someone that he's very energetic himself. He is going to be in the hermit mode, in the sense that he's going to be probably a bit much more reserved when it comes to being online or being on social media. But when it comes to activities, he's probably thinking about a new project, a new solo project, or doing something or collaborating with someone that he admires very much. But yeah, I don't see him like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. Probably he's going to have like, um, a collaboration, or he's going to work with people that he admires. he's going to appear here and there because he's so energetic that he cannot help himself, but I don't think that it's like is going to be that stable, like, oh, he's going to drop this album and it's going to take a lot of months, to work on this or to promote this. No, it's going to be something that maybe he appears in someone's video, or he appears he appears in someone's show. It's appearances, where he's like, yeah, here I am, because he's like explorer, this is why we have the card of journey. He's also in this very he's exploring his options, and maybe he's thinking like, okay, what do I want to do with my image? I want to change, I want to be more bold, I want to be more masculine, but first I need to hang out with people that can inspire me to do this. So I see him being, going back to his energetic mode, being very charming, being very seducing, but it's like him appearing and then leaving. It's not going to be that that stable. Okay, I'm going to continue with Jimin. Past, present, and future for Jimin. Three major arcanas for Jimin. So very, his energy is okay. I think that his energy is very nice. Actually, the cards that he got, but he also is. There's something about Jimin that I'm like, sometimes when I think about Yoongi, and I'm like, there's something about Yoongi energy that sometimes he escapes myself, or during the reading he's like, okay, deal here, and I think that for Jimin's energy it feels the same. I have these major arcanas that are very expansive. It can be about anything, but at the same time, it's like I don't see a ground. I think that it's about maybe his evolution as a person this year. But there's a bit of, doubts. There's a bit of ambiguity in the message. So it's a very expansive message that what do I feel like? Why do I feel like Jimin talks a lot, but he doesn't say anything? Like there's something about him saying a lot of things, but when you want to grasp the meaning, you're like, but what is that? But I want to explain myself in here. Okay, for Jimin, for his past, the Handman, the present, the Lovers, the Gemini card, like the Gemini moon that he is, and we have for the future the Star. And we have as an advice, or the card as the overall feeling of this spread, we have the Seven of Cups, illusion. So see, this is what I see when I try to read this for Jimin. I'm like, why do I feel like Jimin is an illusion? Like he's not real. In the sense that I cannot grasp his human energy. Like, what is he? Is he an angel? Is he what? I want to show you because with the Seven of Cups, this is a different image. But see, the Seven of Cups, the illusion card. it's like you think that Jimin is all of this or this his potential. You're like, oh, Jimin could do this and this and this, but then he vanishes. So you're like, but what are you like? Oh my. What he is that he is a star. Definitely. He has like he is a star, and probably about him being a star is that he's going to continue being successful, or he's going to be, but why do I feel like people will talk about Jimin and Jimin will not even be in the room? Like, I don't know, people promoting maybe Jimin and Jimin is not there. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, where is Jimin? Like, what? But I love it because it's maybe it's part of his charm, that maybe he's like this artist that that you're like, I think I seen him, but actually he wasn't there. So it's weird. Okay, from his past, we have the handman. So yeah, definitely, him being in the military, it was a stop for him. He maybe, his energy didn't feel the best in there. I think that he felt very uncomfortable at first. But the handman is more like energetically. This is why I'm like Jimin's perception or Jimmy's energy feels very expansive. It's not like I can look at it and be like, oh no, he felt uncomfortable because this happened. No, for him it's like an overall sensation. The handman is like, I feel like I'm a martyr here. Like I'm sacrificing myself, my image, my energy in here because I don't belong. I shouldn't be here. Like I feel stuck in time. He probably dissociated a lot while being there. Not being. It's giving me Pisces energy. Like yeah, I surrender to the experience. I participate. I do what I have to do. But honestly, I'm not here. The real Jimin is not here. The real Jimin, the person is not wasn't in the experience. He wasn't. He was just in there, stuck in time, and just maybe yeah, doing what he had to do, but about personality and his point of view, or he didn't show any of that. No, the handman is like okay, like, but I think that also the handman is like yeah, it can be a pause for his career, or maybe for his, for someone like him, it felt like time was wasted. Honestly, for someone like him, it felt like time was like I don't belong here. Like it's like, do you think that you gain something out of this, or you no. It's like really I felt very like I tried to understand the whole processes and do my part, but it was so not like what I know, or not like what I would do, but so very, and also the people that he met, he probably was like very nice to everyone, but there's something about like I wouldn't be friends with these people. Like I wouldn't hang out with these people. Thank God JK was there, but he was like, I didn't feel like socializing. I was just polite because I surrendered to the experience, but the experience was very uncomfortable, and I know that they put me in there, but I didn't want to be. I didn't choose to be here. Um, and yeah, probably someone also. There's something about someone selecting this unit for him. I don't know if it's called unit, but this place was selected by someone else. So he went. He went. But the Hatman is also a card that has like a lesson and a spiritual lesson. And there's something about in enlightenment, because if you see the handman, there's like the person is upside down, but there's like this ray of light. The person in this very uncomfortable situation is somehow connecting with a new knowledge, or a new reality, or a new perspective of things. So probably, even though maybe in activities, or in just having to be there, it was like what a waste of time. But I think that at the end he got it. at the end, maybe the last 4 months or while being in there, he started to get the purpose of this. He started to really, illuminate um, a secret knowledge or perception that was hidden from him before. Maybe at first he was like very much in denial, like, yeah, like, oh, this is tough, or it's not about being tough. I don't think that it was tough for Jimmy, but I think that he felt stuck. Like, I cannot be myself in here. I cannot move. I cannot do what I love to do. I cannot be myself. I can express myself. So he felt like, hung up, like literally very uncomfortable. Uh, but at the same time, I think that he really learned something from this experience, and it's something very personal, and it's something not personal. I think that it has to do with the others. It has to do with maybe, people teaching him, or maybe him, encountering different personalities and different people and different circumstances, and also he looking around and being like, just like Tay, B also, even though it was challenging and there were a lot of, very uncomfortable moments and very, exhausting, demanding moments and tasks, he was able to look around and be like, these people were doing their best. I'm thankful to these people. And I think that for Jimin, he also got it at the end. He got it at the end. He never fought the experience. He was never like, oh my God, like, oh, I don't want to be here. It was more like surrender. It was more like, whatever, I'm here. But I think that he learned a very valuable lesson about maybe, being in there, about, how they are all sacrificing to be in there. It's not just you, the one that is sacrificing. They're all in there. All the people that are in the military are like this. It may be some people that can handle it better than others, but they all enter like this. They all have a life outside that they left pendant because they have to enlist. So it's about acknowledging this. It's like a bigger message. It's like, I get it now. I get it now. Like, I understood this perspective that I didn't see before. So Jimmy is wiser, definitely. It changed him. It changed his perspective. So this is why I'm like, he's feeling very philosophical, or he's feeling very inspired by this experience. But in the middle, we have the lovers. So the lovers again, the present of Jimin is duality. Is like probably he's going to do activities with Jungkook maybe, or he's going to be Jimin and another person, because the lovers is giving me two people. So and it's giving me two. It's giving me, remember that the other day I said like how they both of them looked like twins. Well, the lovers is giving me twin energy. Like if you go, I go, and if you do this, I will do this with you. So there's something about the present, of him. His individuality is still not, he's still attached to JK, I would say. And I think that this is not negative, actually is beneficial. And also, with the lovers, I think that there's a bit of seduction in this. They probably are, playing also with this possibility, with the possibility of maybe creating content together or doing things together. I know they are very famous, like I know people ship them and everything. But I think that this is the part of the lovers that, we can continue in that energy for a bit longer. I could do things with Jimin, with JK, or I could do another thing or activity or being seen with another member, but it's always going to be a member and Jimin. It's always going to be a pair of two people. So people, I think that there's something, this is why when I said at first, that I cannot see Jimin, but I think that probably people that maybe know Jimin, I don't mean it like Jimin privately. We don't. I don't know Jimin privately. We don't know Jimin privately. But there's something maybe him as a star or as someone that is in the public that Jimin is an illusion, literally. Like in the future, we have the star. So there's something about you thinking that you know Jimin, but you actually don't know him, and I think that this is part of his appeal because with the star card in the future, I wonder if Jimin is going to launch like music or like content of his. But I think that it's going to be a success. He's going to be, promoted like the star that he is. He's going to get the recognition or he's going to get awards. I don't know. But there's something about Jimin, the presence, Jimin, the individual, Jimin, the man, not being there. So it's very odd. It's very odd. I know it. But yeah, maybe it's people voting for him. But he is not physically in the building. Like I'm like, where is Jimmy? But definitely in the future, he's going to be mentioned. He's going to be recognized. He's going to be very popular. Probably people. If he does release something, it's going to be a hit because there's something about Jimin energy that he doesn't have to move that much because he's already a star, or people just feel, that his energy is too precious to be like, oh, we need Jimin to sit here. No, you need to see Jimin in his element, or you need to consume Jimin's art, and you're happy with that. You don't need Jimin to do like, a talk show. Okay, Jimin, talk about how you feel. No, we need Jimin, the artist, to inspire us with his music, with his talents, with his body, with his rhythm. Um, he is a star. He's a star, and he's going to get recognition for this in the near future, definitely. But probably there's going to be this. This is why, if this happens, you guys let me know. There's going to be like this absent. Like, could this be that these things are recorded, but you actually don't see Jim in the person? Like, it's so cool. Like the way it's being created is really original because it's going to be a success. But I'm like, where is Jimin? Where are you, Jimin? But yeah, Seven of Cups, illusion. So you probably are going to, yeah, you're going to feel like Jimin is an illusion, and actually there's going to be a lot of illusion about Jimin's future projects, about him appearing or not. Like there's a lot of like people are hungry for Jimin. They are like, we want to see you more. Please release more content. Please appear more with the other members. And he's sort of playing with that. He also seduces the audience like this. And I think that he's going to do very well. He's going to do very well. I like it. I like it. I like it. Jimin feels like larger than life. His energy feels like I'm talking about the Jimin, but yeah, I cannot grasp him Jimin the person. It's so odd. It's so odd. Hey Akira, hello. Oh, my my hands are cold, but yeah, I'm going to continue with JK, the last one, and then I'm going to do a general reading for the group, and then I'm going to go. Let's go for the magnet. Please, guys, don't forget to leave a like to the live stream. Thank you. Oh, okay. Jungkook, past, present, and future. Mm, mm. Okay. Okay, for Jimin, we start with the past. The Empress. Beautiful, beautiful for Jimin. Jimin, not Jungkook. Sorry, Jungkook. See, Jimin and Jungkook were were the same people, the same soul in two bodies. Because I'm like repeating their names. Sorry. In the present, for Jungkook, we have the Six of Pentacles. Just like Hobi. Hobi also got the Six of Pentacles. And the future, the High Priestess. And we have the Three of Cups community for Jungkook. So yeah, it's about him and the others building a community, going back to his community, to his friends. Um, hey Reem. Um, okay, in the past, the Empress for JK. Um, I think that he developed his fullest majestic self in there. He it really this like probably the I don't know what role he had in the military, but it seemed like he did his best. It wasn't that much effort, I would say, for him. For someone like JK, he didn't feel it like, oh, this was tough, or like, oh my God, this was challenging. No, he actually shined a lot, and he it's like he was ready, not just mentally. I think that physically also. And he connected a lot with his Venusian self. He was so charming, so beautiful. Maybe he enchanted also a lot of people. What was his job in the military? Because with the Empress is giving me like him using his Venus, like his Venus sign, him being so Venusian, so polite, so diplomatic, so attractive, and so nice, and people looking at him and thinking like, wow, everything that he does is so beautiful, like as if he's in a fashion show or something like this. People really admiring JK's beauty, but also his potential. The Empress, for me, for someone that is in the military, is more like, were you modeling in the military? What were you doing? Were you selling skincare products? Were you selling clothes? Like, were you part of a photo shoot or something like this? Because he shined. He was like, people were like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. He's so perfect. He's so charming. He's like the whole package. He won a lot of hearts. He conquered a lot of people in the military. He was so popular. So popular. So popular. And also, I think that this also has to do with him having good relationships with people while being in the military. So amazing. Amazing. He grew a lot. He also acquired a lot of knowledge, acquired a lot of experiences. He learned a lot of different skills while being in the military. So he was so productive, but he was so beautiful, so beautiful, so like what was doing what did they do in there? I want to know, like the because he was amazing. Like people would choose a stop to see him, enter the room because he looked his best. He was like glowing. He is beautiful, we know this, but there's something about him really stealing the show in there with his beauty. And also that probably he does everything right. We know this, someone that is very talented, someone that is very skillful, but I don't see him like going out of his way to be like, oh, I have to, be better. I have to, plan this and service and I have to study this. No, things just like were um so harmonious with JK's development and also his training, and he just did it effortlessly, and he looked beautiful while doing it. Maybe in the future we're going to see pictures of him. People are going to share pictures of him looking amazing. And this is not about muscles and pictures on in selfies on the mirror. No, this is about him actually looking like a role model, like a model. Why do I want to say model? Like the poster guy, like of his unit. So beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I love it because probably he wanted to stay in there. He probably had wanted, like, I don't know what they said about the experience, but he was very comfortable actually in there. He was very like I don't see that anyone was making him have a hard time. No, he was glowing in there. He was so happy. He was like comfortable, like at home, like, oh, this is my second home. um and in the present we have the Six of Pentacles. So yeah, I think that in the present, there's something also about his energy slowing down, maybe his initial excitement about being back and everything. He's like slowing down, maybe he had a lot of ideas like, oh, I want to do this, and then I want to go and do this. Once I'm out, I'm going to create this and do this. And I think that now he's coming to the realization that less is more. Something is going on. I know that maybe people know or are aware of that there's something going on, maybe in the company, there's something going on. There's something in there that he's like, yeah, I'm happy to be back and I'm going to do certain activities, but I'm going to be a bit selective about where I present myself, if I'm going to create content, like what kind of content I'm going to do. And I'm not going to say yes to everything. I'm not going to say yes to everything. With the Six of Pentacles, there's this feeling of like, I'm going to give to each activity the right amount of attention and productivity, and I'm going to give of myself what I think that this presentation, this moment, this activity deserves. I'm not going to go like 100%, like I'm so excited, like I'm a workaholic and I want to take all the opportunities to work more and more and more. No, no, no. He's like, let's take it slow. To each activity or each issue that I have to pay attention to or I have to study, give me time. Give me time. I'm going to review certain things. I know I said I would be back and I would be, because I do sense that he probably said like, oh, once I'm back, I'm going to do this and create this and go here and there. And now his reality is different. His reality is like, things are changed. Things are changing. I have to regulate myself. I have to study certain options. I have to study, you know, maybe even contracts. I mean, like, okay, yeah, this I'm not sure. This I think that is more important. This requires more my attention. So I'm going to go with this first. So let's organize ourselves. Let's organize ourselves. So him being, much more grounded, modest, a bit more calm down, and being like, I need to regulate myself a bit because, yeah, I know in the past I was so excited, but now my energy also, his energy is looking to slow down and not burn himself, not, getting burnout. I think that, so this is why you people don't push it with him, give him his space and his time. He knows what he's going to do. But in the future, we have the High Priestess. So for people that don't know what this is, the High Priestess is silence, is reclusion. It's like, I will be a bit mysterious about my things, about my surroundings, about my new projects, about what I'm going to do next. So this is why I'm like, what happened? Something happened. about JK energy, because I know that he had a lot of ideas and he had a lot of things going on, and something somehow, with the Six of Pentacles somehow advises him now in his presence to stop and observe your options. Like, you do have to pay attention to certain things that are going on and decide accordingly, to what is more important to pay attention to or to work on. And then, the other activities or responsibilities, leave it to a side. But with the High Priestess, there's going to be a bit of hermetism coming from him, a bit of silence, or maybe privacy. He's going to hide a bit, or choose, I don't think that it's like a hiatus, just like the hermit, but there's something about him not trusting people. And maybe, he used to be very open, or he wanted to be open about certain things about his life, or he wanted, I don't know, to have another documentary, or he wanted to, I don't know, have more live streams, and I don't know, talk to people about what he has been going on and how his life is doing. And now he's like going with the High Priestess, is like, I better stay silent. Could it be that there's someone watching him? There's someone like trying to steal information from JK? Because he's shutting down he's shutting down all, I mean, the possibilities of him, of people maybe, um, um, I don't know, wanting to get into his energy. There's something about him, yeah, protecting himself. It's like, I'm going to go back to be mysterious about my life or certain things, because I think that this is the right thing to do in the future, in the near future, in the next months, probably. It's not going to be forever like this, but I think that in the next months, you're going to see a bit of JK being a bit like, I don't know if I'm going to show up in this, or if I talk to people, I'm not going to give away that much information, or access to my social media or things like this, because, yeah, it's serious. But yeah, the Three of Cups community. I think that nevertheless, despite of him, becoming a bit like very silent with the High Priestess, is becoming a bit more secretive about, maybe his personal life. I think that he definitely is someone that he lives for the community, or he is someone that is so devoted to the group, to his friends, to his family. He's someone that he loves others. He loves collaborations. He loves to be part of a group. He's so happy to be back. Like, I think that there's something about JK's identity, and being part of a project and being part of, a community, makes him happy. There's something about him being like, I'm nothing without the others. I'm nothing without my family. I'm nothing without my group of friends. So you will probably see JK more like individual work. I would see that also he's another one that he's going to be seen with others. Probably him and two others, or probably him and, like I mentioned, Jimin in the past. But there's something about him wanting to go back to his community, maybe hang out with friends more, but not being alone. Not being alone. It's just that he has to take care of his privacy, and he's going to do it. He's going to shut down I don't think that it's the communication, but probably the way he says things. He's going to watch out for what he says or what he reveals. He's going to be secretive. He's like, yeah, I will not tell you about this. But he's really like looking forward to communicate with his people. He wants to go back to see his friends, but yeah, he's not going to isolate himself. It's just that he's going to be selective about what he shares online or what he says. Very protective of his environment or of his personal information, maybe. Hey, Rim, we're doing okay. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, yeah. This live stream is dedicated to BTS members. I'm reading for them, and now I'm going to read for the group for 2025, and then I'm going to end the live. But yeah, we are doing okay. Yeah, it's freezing in here. It's winter in Argentina, but yeah, okay. 2025 for BTS as a group. Okay. Okay, for BTS as a group, for the rest of 2025, we start with the Six of Wands. We have the World card, the Five of Pentacles, and we have the King of Pentacles. The keyword is disciplined. Disciplined. A lot of discipline for BTS. Like I said, for some members, organization, don't go all out, or don't. I don't think that they want to neither. We're coming back, like we're having a comeback next month, and we're doing a lot of touring. I don't see them like this. I think that they, the more they um they allow themselves to be present in the now, and after everything that they went through, and they connect with their people, and they connect with maybe matters in the reality, they're going to see that it's better to slow down a bit the expectations and be disciplined. Honestly, the Six of Wands and the World is giving me, the way they are being received. They are sort of being received, like triumph, with a lot of, people cheering for them and loving them and supporting them, and then, being treated with a lot of pride. People are very proud of them. Um, Especially worldwide, because I have the world here. So the world card is giving me, like, probably international fans are so excited to give the boys their flowers, literally and figuratively. I don't cannot say that word, but also um, people probably people travel all over the world and everything. It feels very expansive. It feels like they are celebrated everywhere. It's not just their country. And I think that they did it amazing. But then also, with the World Cup, um, this is cycles, and there's going to be, yeah, this happy time of, them being celebrated and being welcomed and everything. But the world card is like, that's going to change very soon. And we have the Five of Pentacles. So things are not okay. Are not okay. Um, there's some losses, material losses. I don't know what is going on with BTS management, or whoever is managing maybe their 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 work, their image. But there's a feeling of losses. They feel like maybe certain decisions were made while they were gone, and now they are like out in the cold. They are like, what? When did you decide that? Like, when did this happen? Like, what is going on? Like, um I don't know about I think that it's not about the group, but there's numbers. There's problems with there's losses in here. I don't know who messed up in the building, but there's like, what did you do? Maybe it's like, it's not sales, maybe it's stocks or something like that. But for them, it's going to, cut them off guard. It's like, what? what happened if the numbers were okay? You know, the numbers were okay. Um, and they will have to fix it. Yeah, they will have to somehow, like that. I think that this could be Namjoon, or this could be, yeah, I think that this could be Namjoon because it's the King of Pentacles that is as disciplined. So there's something about, the one that is really good with numbers, or the one that is really good with these methods of that is more practical methods, or that it has to, it's not about law. Here I don't see law, I don't see like the media, I don't see people talking. No, it's more like what is going on with the numbers? Like something is going on. And this King of Pentacles is like the one that is going to bring the discipline. It's like someone has to have like a sort of regulation in this about their matters, about the matters of the group. I mean, and I think that this person is going to take charge. And if this is not, I think that it's the leader. I think that it's Namjoon because it's the King of Pentacles, but it could also be someone that is going to be hired by the guys to look into this. Like, how come we were so victorious like minutes ago, and now all of a sudden we have losses? Like, how this turn around like this? What happened? So maybe they were spending a lot while the guys were away. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, thanks to this person, things are going. There has to be discipline. This is the thing. I think that this person, if this is Namjoon, he has to be present because otherwise, I think that something happened here. Someone touched a number. Someone did something that it messed up. And I think that this is like probably someone like him, or and like a financial advisor, someone is going to be the one that is like, okay guys, let's organize this. This is like, yeah, we were gone, and you were like, what were you doing? Were you all having a party here? Like someone that has to come and sort of cut maybe certain expenses. I don't know, it feels like someone that has to bring the discipline. It's like, you cannot do this, you cannot buy this, you cannot, like, what are you doing? So I think that yeah, this is why probably when I read for them individually, there was like some of them got the Hermit, some of them got you know a lot of cards that invites them to go into MIA or go into silence because they have a lot of things to review. And I don't want to say material, but it's like economical. It's about economy, or it's about numbers, or it's about. But my God, like, but yeah, I think that this man, this is Namjoon. He is the hope. He is the hope because um, I don't know. I don't know why do I feel like people relaxed, or maybe I don't know if it's people in the company or people that worked for them. They got very relaxed. You know when you are like very confident and you're like, well, they will not mind. If we do this like this and we spend like this, and then they're going to look and be like, what? Like, mm. So yeah, this is why, you know, like discipline sometimes, when you are very successful, and when you are that exposed, you always need like someone that is very like logical, or that is very rational, or that is very even routinary and really good with numbers, because some people just they get confident and they do whatever. So yeah. mm. Hello Yashoda, how are you? mm. Mm. Yeah, guys, we'll see. But yeah, I think I don't know about comeback this year. I don't see it. I don't see it, guys. I don't see it. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining. I know that probably there's people that don't follow my content that often, especially because I haven't been reading for BTS members except for some dynamic tarot readings that it wasn't focused on the future. In there I did read for certain members, but it's been a while. It's been a lot of years. So I'm really happy to do this for them. I miss them. I cannot wait for them to get the control of their careers, the control of what they have been creating, and also the control of their private lives. The control of also having the possibility to be private or go MIA or just rest or create or whatever they want to do as individuals. We have been waiting for them, and we will wait until they are ready. So yeah, thank you guys. I'm going to go because I'm freezing here, but yeah, I'm going to post probably tomorrow, tonight. I'm going to post on the community because on Sundays we have Q&A, we have for the tarot. So if you want to submit your questions in there or a topic of conversation, yeah, we can see it on Sunday. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here, for accompanying me. And yeah, I'm going to then list the timestamps so you can go to the reading of the different guys and then the group. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.